Do you know what truly happens when you cut off contact with a narcissist? At first, they often act as if it doesn't bother them, confident that you'll break under the weight of guilt, compassion, or the need for closure. They bet on their belief that they know you too well that you can't possibly live without them. Like a patient predator, they stay silent, convinced you'll come crawling back. But what happens when you don't? When the prey slips away from their grasp, that's when the real drama unfolds. The narcissist, stripped of control, begins to spiral. Confusion, anger, and insecurity take hold. They're no longer the powerful figure they thought they were. Yet don't be mistaken into thinking they'll accept defeat quietly. In this video, we're diving into the mind games narcissists play when their control slips and how you can protect yourself. From manipulative tricks to emotional traps, we'll break it all down. And more importantly, we'll arm you with the tools of self-awareness, resilience, and unwavering self-respect to rise above their tactics. Before we start, let's take a moment to affirm your strength. Type "I am unbreakable" in the comments to claim your power, and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos where we'll tackle toxic relationships and pave the way toward a life of freedom and happiness. Narcissists, masters of manipulation, often dismiss your silence as a temporary bluff. They count on your compassion, guilt, and need for closure to break through your resolve. Confident in their belief that they know you better than anyone, they assume you can't thrive without them. Like a predator lying in wait, they choose to remain silent, expecting you to return in desperation. But when you resist their bait, the dynamic shifts dramatically. The game of cat and mouse begins, but it doesn't always unfold as they plan. When the seemingly powerless mouse breaks free, the proud cat is left bewildered and enraged. For narcissists, losing control unleashes a torrent of emotions: anxiety, insecurity, and desperation. Stripped of their dominance, they feel adrift, no longer holding the power they so desperately crave. Yet surrender is never an option for them. Instead, they adapt and retaliate with calculated precision. What destabilizes a narcissist more than anything else is your indifference. While they are often impervious to direct confrontations or attempts to hurt them emotionally, your lack of response strikes at their core. No calls, no messages, no signs of engagement. This withdrawal shakes their confidence. The steady supply of attention they depend on is severed, leaving them disoriented and scrambling for control. It's at this point they shift tactics, moving step by step to draw you back in. Early on, they might adopt changes aimed directly at the vulnerabilities and desires you've previously shared. If you wished for them to be more empathetic, they may suddenly exhibit behaviors that seem compassionate, perhaps volunteering or donating to charity. If you wanted them to focus on mental health, they might attend therapy sessions or share insights from self-help books. These efforts are not rooted in a genuine desire for growth, but are instead part of a larger strategy to regain their grip on the relationship. Their goal isn't self-transformation but reasserting power. These superficial changes are designed to lure you into believing they've become the person you hoped they could be. Once trust is restored, however, their true nature resurfaces, as deep, authentic change rarely occurs with a narcissist. Understanding their true intentions is crucial for protecting yourself. Resist the urge to accept surface-level actions as proof of change. Instead, observe their behavior over time, looking for consistency and sincerity. True growth is driven by a genuine desire to improve, not by manipulation or control. By recognizing their tactics for what they are, you can maintain your strength and avoid falling back into their cycle. Narcissists often escalate their tactics with the next phase: love bombing. This isn't an expression of genuine affection, but a calculated attempt to reassert control. They may suddenly highlight memories you cherished, flooding you with nostalgic messages or playful inside jokes. You might even stumble upon coincidental encounters, though these are usually meticulously planned to ignite feelings of longing and familiarity. It's important to see this for what it truly is: manipulation. These actions are not signs of change or growth, but deliberate moves designed to make you question your choices. They aim to sow seeds of doubt, leading you to wonder if cutting ties was a mistake. For instance, if you previously felt they disregarded your emotions, they might now feign attentiveness, offering shallow gestures of care to create the illusion of transformation. However, beneath this polished exterior, nothing has truly changed, only the mask they wear. When the charm offensive fails, narcissists rarely retreat. They thrive on the thrill of the chase and have an arsenal of other tactics to deploy. Among these is the subtle yet devious strategy of bait and switch closure. Under the guise of offering a clean and mature ending to the relationship, they might say things like, "We need closure," or "I owe you an explanation." At first glance, this appears respectful and considerate. However, the real purpose is to reopen the door you've worked so hard to close. The idea of closure can be deeply tempting, especially after a tumultuous relationship. It may lead you to question whether they've truly changed or deserve a chance to explain themselves. This is precisely what they want, to create an opening to regain access to your life. If you agree to meet for closure, they may show up wearing yet another convincing mask, this time of remorse or self-blame. They might promise growth, claim to have reflected deeply, or appear genuinely vulnerable. But the goal isn't reconciliation, it's re-entry, another step in their cycle of manipulation and control. Recognizing this ploy is crucial. Not every invitation for closure is sincere. More often than not, it's a calculated move to pull you back into their web. If these tactics still fail, narcissists may turn to an especially insidious method, the fake it till you make it strategy. In this phase, they curate an image of a perfect life without you, often through social media. Photos of lavish vacations, glamorous parties, or cozy moments. With a seemingly new romantic partner flood your feed, giving the impression that they've effortlessly moved on and are thriving. But don't be deceived. These posts are rarely an honest reflection of their reality. Instead, they're another manipulation tool designed to provoke feelings of regret, jealousy, or self-doubt. Their intent is not to celebrate newfound happiness, but to send a message: look what you're missing. It's yet another attempt to pull you back into their orbit, using your emotions against you. By understanding these tactics, you can protect yourself from falling prey to their manipulative schemes. Stay grounded in your decision and remember that these actions are part of a well-worn pattern. True freedom comes from recognizing their games and refusing to play. Narcissists use these strategies with two primary objectives in mind. First, they aim to replace the supply you once provided: the attention, admiration, and dependency that fed their ego. They quickly seek out a new source of supply, often someone they can manipulate just as easily. By showcasing this new life through curated displays of happiness, they send a clear message: they don't need you anymore, and they've moved on effortlessly. However, this new person is just another pawn in the narcissist cycle of manipulation, and these displays are less about joy and more about preserving their image of power and invincibility. Second, the narcissist wants to plant seeds of doubt in your mind about your decision to leave. By portraying themselves as happier and more fulfilled without you, they provoke thoughts that perhaps you misunderstood them or acted too hastily. For example, they might post about visiting places you both once dreamed of, or engaging in activities they never considered during your relationship. These calculated moves are designed to make you question your choice, stirring feelings of regret and discomfort. Yet, there's often a telltale sign that their happiness isn't genuine: the need to showcase it excessively. Truly content people rarely feel the need to constantly prove their joy, especially online. Narcissists, on the other hand, frequently use social media as a weapon to manipulate emotions and maintain control. Their fake it till you make it routine is just another layer of their facade. Real happiness doesn't require an audience. When direct tactics don't work, narcissists often resort to a more covert form of manipulation, sabotaging your reputation. They initiate subtle but damaging whisper campaigns, spreading false narratives to undermine your credibility among mutual acquaintances or even family members. You might notice people around you expressing unusual concern or asking probing questions, as if they've heard troubling rumors about you. These campaigns are designed to portray you as unstable or irrational, especially after you've cut ties. Narcissists frequently position themselves as the victim, recounting how deeply hurt they've been by your actions. But their goal isn't to clear the air or earn sympathy, it's to tarnish your reputation. By planting doubt in the minds of those around you, they aim to isolate you, making you feel misunderstood and unsupported. For instance, they might tell exaggerated or fabricated stories about how you've become distant or erratic. These whispers spread insidiously, causing mutual friends or family to question your mental state. The narcissist's ultimate aim is to push you into a corner where you feel compelled to defend yourself or explain your actions. By doing so, they create an opportunity to reinsert themselves into your life under the guise of clearing up the misunderstanding. If even this fails, narcissists often escalate to their most manipulative weapon, emotional blackmail. This involves leveraging guilt to force you back into their control. Suddenly, their narrative shifts to focus on their own struggles, whether mental, physical, or familial. They might emphasize how your actions are affecting not just them but also shared loved ones. Questions like, "How could you do this to your family?" or "Think about the children," become common refrains. In this tactic, they cast themselves as the victim and you as the heartless aggressor, accusing you of breaking bonds or causing rifts. The irony, of course, is that they are often the ones responsible for these fractures. This weaponized guilt is their way of reasserting control, painting you as the antagonist in a story they've carefully crafted to maintain their dominance. By recognizing these behaviors for what they are, calculated manipulations, you can protect yourself from falling into their traps. Stay focused on your truth and remind yourself that their actions are about control, not genuine emotion or concern. One of the most troubling tactics narcissists employ is their ability to weaponize your own strengths, your empathy, and kindness against you. These qualities, which they once took advantage of during the relationship, become tools in their effort to manipulate and pressure you into returning. They know your compassionate nature makes you susceptible to guilt, and they exploit this to make you feel responsible for their well-being or for fixing the situation. You might hear statements like, "I don't know what I'll do without you," or "The family will fall apart if you leave." If you feel yourself faltering under the weight of this emotional blackmail, it's crucial to remind yourself of one fundamental truth: their feelings and actions are not your responsibility. These manipulative tactics are designed to erode the boundaries you've worked so hard to establish. Standing firm in your boundaries isn't an act of cruelty or selfishness, it's an expression of self-respect and self-preservation. Narcissists rely on making you question your own worth and values, turning your compassion into a tool for their control. Recognizing this dynamic allows you to resist their attempts to weaken you. You are not obligated to carry their emotional burdens or remain entangled in a toxic cycle. Maintaining your boundaries is not only your right but also a vital step toward your own healing and freedom. Breaking free from a narcissist's cycle of manipulation is no easy feat, but it's a courageous and transformative step toward reclaiming your life. Remember, your worth is not defined by their actions or words, and their attempts to control you are a reflection of their insecurities, not your value. By staying firm in your boundaries, nurturing your self-respect, and prioritizing your well-being, you can overcome their tactics and move toward a future filled with genuine peace and happiness. You deserve a life free from toxic influence, never forget that. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need this message. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss future videos about healing, self-empowerment, and overcoming toxic relationships. Together we can build a stronger, healthier path forward.